Next is Mrs. Phelps.
Mrs. Phelps down at the general store don't help things none. She's got them special picture books, the one with the ladies. But she won't sell me none on account of she knows my wife, Mrs. Loomis. Dadgum if that don't burn my britches. If and I even ask about 'em, she tells Mrs. Loomis and I get the broom. Enough to break a man's heart, her burning my French postcards and me unable to replace them. A man's got needs, don't you know? Of course, I don't necessarily mean French postcards. That's just what we called them in my day. Any kind of girly picture book, the kind men like, would be just dandy. I'd be right grateful, kiddo, if you were to bring me one.
This guy is one of the creepers. I don't know. I mean, every character in this game is creepy, but a man's needs. Oh dear, I don't want to hear about this, but let's hear.
Why, you sure ought to appreciate what a man's got to do sometimes in a parked car, or a waist-high knothole in a tree, or jail cell at noon. Matter of fact, Mrs. Phelps got no reason not to sell you some of them French postcard girly picture books. If you can get any, you see clear to part with them. Bring 'em round when the sheriff's at lunch, and I'd be obliged. Anytime, kiddo.
After all you said, I really don't want you to call me kiddo. Guess I'll give me the key to the evidence.
That's the evidence.
Yeah, I get it. What? Wait. Let me go back inside because I want to see if I can punch everyone to death here. Sheriff's gone. Ugh. AestheticGamer you. AestheticGamer. I couldn't have punched him anyway. I can't go past the 2D plane. I'll be back, I guess, when I get some of those girly picture books. Okay, I'll say like weird, all like they like to. Lodge, Edna's Diner. Time to meet Edna. That's a spinning sign. Even from the ground, you can hear the sonorous buzz of the neon. Can't examine the car, can't examine the motorcycle. A 1955 Frag 100 with a real leather seat. I forgot. He seems to somehow know a lot about vehicles, planes, cars, motorbikes, I guess. Let's go inside. There's a few people in here. Oh, this is where the sheriff went, and also these two there. Examine the smoke alarm. A smoke alarm. Well, sure. I'll start talking firstly, I guess, to Karen. Let's go.
Hi, what's your name?
Karen,
What are you doing?
playing. My mom is working, so I gotta stay out of her hair. Wanna play?
Not now, maybe later.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, Steve, what are you doing sneaking up on me like that? God, for a second I thought you were Mr. Johnson. What would you like to order?
You know me, and who are you? I guess who are you?
Well, you're in Edna's Diner. That ought to be your first clue.
I thought this was DNA's diner.
Very funny. If certain customers would stop pretending to have amnesia and order some food, maybe I could afford to get that sign fixed. Might even be able to buy enough extra letters to spell Fitzpatrick.
I'm not pretending.
Now, Steve, faking amnesia won't help anything. If you don't want to marry Stephanie, then don't. But don't play sick, for heaven's sake. I'd expect that from Karen, not an 18-year-old.
Alright, so Karen, Steph, Stephanie, Mr. Johnson. Let's do it.
You've met Karen, my 8-year-old. Other than the diner, she's all I have. You've met There isn't a nicer girl in Harvest than Stephanie, Steve. You should be grateful that she's promised you her hand.
I don't remember that happening, Edna.
Honestly, you men are so childish. I don't know what it is about marriage that turns even the bravest man into a coward. I was going to marry Karen's father when he just up and ran out on me one night. I heard that he joined the lodge, but if he did, I never saw him come out again. Even Sheriff Dwayne wasn't able to find out what happened to him. Mr. Johnson has a liking for me. I'd call it a crush, but that's too innocent a word. He's a bitter man with too much time on his hands. He's never gotten over being rejected by the lodge, and there's something unwholesome in the way he looks at me. I'm always glad when the sheriff comes in every day at noon. The lodge is the repository of all wisdom. You should join the Order of the Harvest Moon, Steve, and soon.
Why? For God's sake, what is it about this place?
The wheat ripens and waits not for the scythe. The farmer who waits too long, it were better that he used the scythe to rip his own stomach out than to stay his scythe when the wheat ripens. The harvest moon wanes and then comes winter. An empty belly, the body sun's belly, gurgling within or bloody on the ground. What does it benefit a man if he gains his soul and loses the world? You hunger. Feed yourself before it's too late. Oh.
Edna?
Steve. What happened? Were we talking about Boyle? Or was it Karen?
You seemed strange there for a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress. Running this diner all alone. Forgive me.
Well, that was quite the talk. Let's go there.
Stop by anytime, Steve.
Now let's talk to Sheriff Dwayne.
Hello there, Steve. Here for lunch?
No, just here looking around, though I'm not entirely sure where here is.
Oh, I forgot. You're playing your little amnesia prank. Well, boy, this is DNA's diner. Isn't that right, Edna?
Don't listen to Sheriff Dwayne. This is Edna's diner. But ever since the E burned out on the sign, they've been giving me a hard time.
Now, don't be like that, Edna. It's a great place to eat, which is good, since it's the only place to eat in Harvest.
Well, that was the thing.
Stop on by any time, Steve.
I always try to punch the people after I'm done talking with them. That's what I've done every time. You don't need to ask. Can I actually walk up to him? Maybe. I'm not sure if I can get really up to him, but I guess I'll try. Nah, I can't. Can I get up to the little girl and try punching her? Nope, can't. Out we go. And out I go. Let's go this way. TV station, sure. There's more of the lodge, but first the TV station. TV station sure is packed. Examine the car. A silver Tucker with yellow interior. War. Indians. Too busy drinking and smoking, they ignore you. Yeah, this game's full of stereotypes. Going from there. I guess they're filming. Yep. Examine the sign. A fairly primitive form of mind control. Oh. I get it. A corny western backdrop, complete with a cardboard teepee. Alright, this is that cowboy show that brother apparently likes. It's in the backdrop, yep. Talk to Roy. Examine the camera. Odd, no one is operating the cameras. Because the camera never moves. Guess I'll talk to the ranger. Sure.
Stay tuned, buckaroos. There's more to come on Range Riders Cowboy Roundup. So don't go away. And what's your name, hombre?
Steve.
Steve's a swell name. My dog's name is Steve. Would you like my autograph, Steve? Here you go, then. Violence? What about it? What red-blooded American doesn't? Nothing like an exploding head to get the blood pumping. Literally, that is.
Even so, do you think society pays a heavy price for the violence in the media?
Of course they pay a heavy price. Just look at the net profits. They'll line up around the block to see a good slaughter. Now, excuse me, we're going back on the air. Can't talk now, buckaroo. We're on in just a sec. Violence? Violence is as American as apple pie and low SAT scores. Where would we be right now if the cowboys hadn't gone out west and butchered innocent people to steal their land? Answer me that, Mr. Know-It-All.
But what about studies that have shown that children become more violent when watching violence?
Buckaroo, I rip the guts out of godless heathen Injuns. Most kids don't see godless heathen Injuns on a regular basis, and if they do, they better either get their eyes checked or do like old Range Rider and shoot the bejesus out of them. Lest they want to go untreated for psychotic hallucinations, or wind up with their scalps hanging from a buckskin belt. Oh, shit! Ow! Shit on a stickeroo! The parents that are griping about violence on TV are the same parents that go outside in the morning to fetch their papers, secure in the knowledge that they won't get an arrow through the noodle because the violence they hate so much done cleared the engines out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, civilization has benefited from violence. But should violence be treated as entertainment?
Check my rating, son. Violence is entertainment. I just put it on the air. If some kid watches, that says something about the kid, not me. Now, excuse me, we're going back on the air.
He's actually doing his idle animation. That's new there, but there's a lot. I guess I feel like stereotyping is happening because of the setting more so. It's like it's offensive, but I also feel that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be offensive, if that makes any sort of sense. And it feels like there's more going here because they're playing off a lot of stereotypes from the 1950s there. Going on to the next screen then, I guess. I thought there was something there for a second. I could have examined the seats, though. Let's look around. Very poor reception. Strange since the broadcast originates from here. Picture. A picture of a gorgeous model, signed with "Kiss My Principal," Red Muffy. Cubicles, then? An assortment of empty cubicles. Either McKnight loves to recall his salad days as an insurance salesman, or he can't keep his employees happy. Well, actually, there's something to examine here. Operate the picture. Mr. McKnight's secret safe. It requires a number combination before it can be accessed. I don't know any clues. Let's talk to him. I'll tell you, he's like right there.
If you don't get out of here right now, I'm having you arrested for trespassing.
Let's talk.
Hey, sport. This is a private office.
Yeah, I know, Mr.
McKnight. I own and operate this station. Have you brought me some news for tonight's broadcast, or...
I've lost my memory. That's news.
The hell it is! You always were a kidder, Steve. Any real news to tell me?
Actually, I was just wanting to know more about the TV station.
Hey, WHAR is the only television station in Harvest. Since the old Sentinel went under, what with the newspaper building burning down and all, we're golden. Nobody competes with us, sport. Hey now, sport, that's an irresponsible allegation. I had nothing to do with that fire. Just because WHAR may have benefited from it and I danced on the ashes a little doesn't mean I torched the place. You can ask Sheriff Dwayne if you have any doubts.
You seem awfully touchy on the subject, sport.
I'm touchy when people try to muscle their way into my business. I'd appreciate it if you'd leave my office and don't come back.
The dance down the ashes line got me.
Don't hurry back. Don't hurry back. All right, sport. I warned you.
Oh. Oh! I'm gonna test something while I'm here. If you click fast enough, you'll escape the police in that scene before the scene triggers.
All right, sport. I warned you. All right, sport. I warned you.
I glitched the game.
All right, sport. I warned you.
Oh, that one actually triggered it. Ugh. I'm gonna test this. Let's go here. Aesthetics. Okay. If I go back inside, will they throw me in jail? Oh, that unfortunately that will trigger the cutscene from that point on, though. Harvester, no. Load game. Aesthetics. That's why I made a separate save file, because I suspected something might happen there. Well, let's load from the previous save point. Stay game auto. I was just curious if I could do that, and I could. I need to first finish what I need to do in the police station. So I saved here after talking to everyone.
Sorry.
Yeah, bye.
Stop off.
So I'll go do what I can do quickly. Thankfully, you can skip through the dialogue and most things here in the game, so I just need to go over here to the TV station. I can just kind of speed through it.
Stay tuned. And what's your name, hombre?
Steve.
Would you like my...
No, I'd like to know who owns the station.
You'd want to talk to Mr. McKnight, buckaroo. I'm just range rider, the cowpoke's cowpoke. You gotta excuse me, youngin'. I gotta ski-daddle to the watering hole and back before the commercial's over. Happy trails, buckaroo.
Just doing my part.
Yeah. Mick, the hell is...
Actually,
Hey,
You and your partners must be rich.
partners. I run the whole show solo, pal. Don't hurry back.
Alright, well, let's leave so I don't end up going to jail. Let me save my game right here. I'll keep the broken game file because I'm amused by it. And yeah, I punch him. That's the question we all want to know. Operate the desk. Searching the desk, you find a combination safe manual. Some inventory. Safe manual, right click to view. Alright. 04 23 71 58. And now he's just completely in pieces. He wasn't just a second ago. Let's operate this. Let's talk with the combination. Guess what I have? I guess I need to write it down. Using the combination of the manual, you successfully open the safe. Operate the safe. Examine the deed. Find the deed of the TV station. Operate the exit. Of course. Let's go to my inventory. This certifies that Lance McKnight, Dwan Dwayne are the official bearers of this deal. We wholly recognize as the War Television Studio Harvest. Now let's see if I get arrested on my way out. If not, then I guess we'll just ignore this ever happens. I guess that was fine to do.
Can't talk now, buckaroo. We're on in just a sec.
Bye.
Happy trails, buckaroo.
Out I go. Oh, Dwan Dwayne. We'll get to that eventually. Yep, sheriff is also the owner. Well, I guess now the sheriff's the only owner. I guess next we're going to Owen Memorial School. Why not? Well, after I'm done investigating everything, I'm going to try and figure out what all these items are for. Now I'm going to make another save file. I'm going to keep the broken one. Let's make this save 5. Let's see. AestheticGamer. All those kids cheering. And investigate around the school. Not really. Let's enter inside the school and see what happens. Or the memorial. I don't know. It sounds like a school. It's a school. Memorial bake sale. Looks like the bake sale will be held here. You don't say. Examine the trash can. A distasteful amalgam of chewed gum, mangled love notes, broken ballpoints, oozing blue ink, and wadded Kleenex. And the bulletin board. Bulletin board railed with staples. Creepy scene. This drinking fountain doesn't work. These lockers are riddled with inexplicable stains and dents. A glass-protected fire alarm. Oh, I could operate it, though. Let me first talk around. Also, the rooms to check. I'll start off with you. Talk to Principal Harrell.
Steve, good of you to drop by, big guy. Haven't seen you since graduation. A lot of changes, I hear.
You could say that.
Good, good. That's a nice part of my job. Turning fine young men and women out into the world, and then watching them prosper. Of course, I was able to reach more people at the old Sentinel, God bless her. But then again, I never got to see the results of my work up close before.
Who are you?
You know very well I'm Mr. Harrell, the principal of Gain Memorial. Steve, I've heard about this amnesia nonsense. I had hoped you'd be in the lodge by now, fine young fellow like yourself. But now, I think maybe you need a little more quality time. Boy, I sure miss the old newspaper. The sheriff never did investigate that fire properly. Call it a newspaper man's instinct, though I can't imagine why Sheriff Dwayne would cover up anything. I mean, the only ones who stood to profit from the newspaper going out of business was the owner of the TV station, and Mr. McKnight had an airtight alibi. Still, if not for the fire, I never would have wound up as principal of Gain Memorial.
Gain Memorial? Sounds like a cemetery or a hospital, not a school.
This institution was named for a great man, whose first name escapes me. He epitomized the great potential within us all, big guy. I hear there's an honorary plaque commemorating him within the lodge. Big guy, born some quality time, the greatest gift I can bestow upon you as your former principal is a word of advice. Join the Order of the Harvest Moon at any cost. Within the lodge lies your future, and without, dust.
Why do you keep calling me big guy?
A sign of respect, lad. As principal, my station is higher than yours now, but you never know what the future holds, so you should always hedge your bets and pay tribute to your inferiors. You never know who will come to power, or who, even now, wields it behind the scenes. For all I know, you might already be a member of the Order, with access to the Lodge. If that were the case, you'd be my superior, and I'd be all that much better off having shown you respect and spent some quality time with you.
Quality time, indeed. Fuck is quality time?
What do you mean, quality time?
Some, like Miss Whaley, favor stern discipline, corporal punishment, as a means of socialization. Myself, I temper discipline with love. Quality time can be such a warm, sharing experience. After just a few sessions, you'd stop this amnesia nonsense and become a productive member of society and a fit candidate for the Lodge. You turned out pretty good, except for that amnesia nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Maybe you need a little straightening out. Oh, the things I could do to you. You'd be a much finer young man with just a little quality time.
He is creeping me out. I'll give him that. Well, I don't remember anything else, but I think I'm done. Bye. Actually, Stephanie is usually a topic. I should apparently graduate from here too.
Oops, you just lost me.
I'm out. Bye.
Drop in again soon. Adult education is a wonderful thing, as is adult quality time.
Just the way he keeps on saying it. Since I missed some of his speech there, I guess I'll do aesthetic quality. Ha 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 ha. Now see if we can punch him to death. Anyways, let's see ourselves go to jail now. Let's load game. There we go. Instead, go to the classroom. Examine the projector, I guess. The projector, carefully engineered to sound good when played underwater. That's very specific. Even the paper cutouts look stunned and zombified. And the students. The children look stunned and zombified. Well, on the chalkboard, a rough sketch of the lodge. Let's talk to the teach then. Talk to Mrs. Whaley.
My goodness, class, this is Stephen. He used to be a student here at Gein Memorial. Say hello, class. They're reticent. The educator's greatest problem today is the apathy of the students.
What's wrong with their
heads? I can tell you in one word, Stephen. Discipline. Thank goodness you weren't a sulky bear. You were always a smiley bear.
Then you remember me?
Not as such. So many pupils, Stephen. They come and they go. But I can always spot those who were nice boys. You can tell from the forehead. The lobes, right, class? I'm glad you stopped by, Stephen. Would you care to say a few words to the class about civic responsibility?
Not really. I was just passing through.
Oh, but you must, Stephen. A positive role model might be just the thing to inspire these little monsters. Stephen, have you any questions for me? Or shall I continue with class?
I guess yes, I do.
Ask away then.
Alright. Harvest. Lodge. Corporal punishment. I'll start with the harvest.
can you tell me anything about Harvest?
Harvest was founded by the Order of the Harvest Moon about 100 years ago.
For what purpose?
Why, I'm sure you'd have to ask them. You'll find the members of the Order at the lodge.
This lodge, what do you know about it?
The building itself, like Harvest, was constructed with a specific purpose in mind. That noble intent is known only to those within the Order. You're at about the right age to join them, Stephen, and you will do so if you care about your future. We don't practice corporal punishment here. I've never believed in that old adage, spare the rod and spoil the child. A rod is too thin, but a baseball bat? That bridges the generation gap quite nicely. Oh dear, Colonel Monroe is conducting another air raid drill. Everyone into the hallway, quick!
If an A-bomb hits, what good is it gonna do to duck and cover?
My stars, that was exciting.
Well, okay then. Well,
Stop by anytime, Stephen.
on that note, we're gonna take a quick 2-minute commercial break. If anybody wants to get something to eat, drink,